You've probably heard it a million times: just quit. Just stop. But if breaking a bad habit was that easy, wouldn't everyone already be living their best life? The truth is, most people stay trapped in a cycle, repeating the same toxic patterns over and over. Not because they're weak, but because they don't know the real way out. What if I told you that quitting any Thai habit doesn't have to take weeks, months, or years? It can actually take just 3 minutes. Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because this isn't some fluffy motivational nonsense. This is the same mindset shift that turned nobodies into legends. Let's talk about Michael Jordan for a second. When he was cut from his high school basketball team, most people would have given up. But instead of sulking, he made one decision: to never let that happen again. He walked into his room, stared at himself in the mirror, and rewired his brain. That moment wasn't about skills, it was about identity. He chose to never be the person who quits. From that moment, his habits shifted. He didn't try to train, he trained because he was the guy who trains harder than anyone. It wasn't motivation, it was transformation. Here's the brutal truth. Most people try to quit a bad habit by focusing on the habit itself. Smoking, scrolling, procrastinating, junk food. But the habit isn't the problem. The problem is the identity behind it. You've been telling yourself, "I'm a smoker trying to quit," or a procrastinator trying to be productive. You see it? Your brain still believes that's who you are. So the real shift starts the moment you stop negotiating with that old version of yourself. Now imagine this. 3 minutes. You stand up. You look in the mirror, and you say no. You declare, "I'm no longer the person who does this." You physically cut the cord. This isn't a cute little affirmation. This is war. You change the story. You change the habit. Take Robert Downey Jr. for example. The man went from jail cells and addiction to becoming one of the highest paid actors in the world as Iron Man. You think that happened because he slowly eased out of bad habits? No. He hit rock bottom, stared at the wreckage of his life, and made a decision: I will never be this version of me again. His habits followed that choice. So here's how you quit any Thai habit in 3 minutes. Step 1. Stand up. Move. Physically interrupt the loop. Your body can't stay stuck if you force it to change state. Step 2. Look yourself dead in the eyes. Mirror, phone camera, whatever, and say out loud, "I no longer do this. This is not who I am." Speak it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Step 3. Place the void. The habit isn't gone until something better fills it. You don't quit scrolling by sitting bored on the couch. You replace it with walking, with learning, with creating. If you smoked to relieve stress, you replace it with breathing, running, calling someone. Your brain craves a pattern. Give it a better one. And don't think for a second that failure means it didn't work. Look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At 23, he was broke, depressed, living in his mom's tiny apartment with $7 in his pocket. He could have let the bad habits when staying in bed, avoiding life, numbing with distractions, but instead, he drew the line. He became the version of himself that wakes up, trains, works, and builds, and that man became a global icon. The clock is ticking. Every time you engage with that bad habit, you're casting a vote for the old version of yourself. But the beautiful thing? You can vote for the new you anytime you want. 3 minutes. Decision, declaration, replacement. Do it again. Do it as many times as it takes until the old you doesn't even feel real anymore. If you're waiting for the perfect day, the perfect mood, or the perfect motivation, let me tell you the truth. That day never comes. Motivation is a lie. Identity is everything. Look at Tom Hardy. The man openly talks about overcoming addiction and chaos. It wasn't because someone handed him a blueprint. It was because he decided in a single moment that the story had to change. You are not your bad habits. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are whatever you decide to be now in this exact second. So ask yourself, who do you want to be when this video ends? The person who watches, nods, and scrolls? Or the person who closes this video, stands up, looks in the mirror, and rewrites the entire future? The choice is yours. And if this lit something inside you, don't let it fade. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and join the Gray to Gold family, because this is where we stop living small and start designing the life we actually deserve.